Howdy everybody, it is I, your Redstone Wizard, and I am here today with a how-to video on the beautiful command block. Now, as you can see up there on the top, I am in the beta for build 1.2, and I'm in here for a couple of especially important reasons. Number one, if we go ahead and put in here our good old /help, we can see that with this, we are actually provided with a total of, get rid of my keyboard real quick, 12 pages. Versus the 9 that you see right here. So we end up getting a significant number more commands available to us within this beta build version. Now, there is also a couple of other additional features for people who happen to have owner access within a world. You do have the ability to hop into your settings menu and slide right on down to the bottom, where you can include things such as weather cycle, mob griefing, looting, and so on and so forth. One of the fun ones I used recently in my UHC was the ability to turn off natural regeneration. Particularly fun. But you can include keep inventory as well as taking off fire spread and things of that nature. So it does give you a lot of options available. So it's cool, but this does only give you a piece of it. Now, when you are going through the menu for the commands, we are given this beautiful little / menu, which allows us to again type in a certain preset command. Now, mind you, this is still a little bit limited. Other than set world spawn, which completes the command right out in the go. You, for instance, under set weather, I have the weather cycle turned off because I set it to do that. But you do have the option of, like, for instance, teleport. Who? Teleport me. To where? Well, you can only do people, and boom, to me. Now you have to complete the command by actually entering it in. There I have been teleported. So that's pretty nifty. However, the real purpose behind this video comes down to the command block. So if we go ahead and give ourselves a command block here, not by any of these, but by typing in here a good old, come on, give it to me, /, and as you see up here in the top, it actually starts finishing out what's going on. So I go ahead and give, and then as you see here, it gives us a space, and then even though there are those brackets there, that's telling you what the next setup is going to be. So it's saying what player or target. So it gives you a list up at the top to give you kind of some new things. Now, one of the things they added in the 1.2 build is to do the @s, which is to give it to yourself as an option, which is pretty nice. Next, it then allows us to switch over to the item, and as we start typing it will come up. So I'm going to go ahead and start in on the command block. Now, we see that it gives us several different options for the command block, and other than the command block minecart, we don't really have much of a difference between them. So you can go ahead and give yourself the plain old command block, and I'll show you how the rest of it works. Alright, so I'm going to give myself the command block. The next set in the brackets there is the amount that you intend to give yourself, which I'm in creative right now, so giving myself 1 is fine, but you can give yourself as many as you'd like. However, it will not exceed the inventory space you have available. Now, if you were to have a different modification within like your JSON file, or if you were to have an item capable of rendering enchantments, then you can actually add those within the next steps. However, that's all I've got for this one, so when I give it to myself, it goes down. Now, the command block has a pretty nifty feature in and of itself that you can only access it while in the creative mode. While in survival mode, even if you do have the authority, you cannot enter the command block. You must do it here. Now, there are a couple of nice features about this particular command block setup. Number one, it gives us the ability to put a hover node, which means that as we go over this command block, it will actually tell us what it is. This is nifty for map makers who happen to be setting multiple ones up. If you wanted to tell people that this was to set to a different spawn point, you don't need a sign. You can set a hover note so that people can see what's going on. Now, within here, we do have the command setup. Now, as you see here, we can get a big list if we want. There isn't really a limit anymore. Originally, there was actually a limit to the number of characters within the command input, and that has actually been removed, which is an interesting feature. Now, this is set as a block type of impulse. An impulse basically means that it whether or not it needs redstone or happens to always be active. It does not necessarily mean any other thing than that. You know, you get a redstone impulse, and there you go. Now, the conditional or unconditional is an interesting factor, that when we do set it to conditional, then that means that there are things that are required to happen in order for it to work, and that is something that happens within the command. Now, we do have the option to turn this into a chain, which allows us, when we come out, we'll see it set to this. Now, the chain. People have questions about what chain is. Well, if you look, there is an arrow on this command block which points in this direction. So if we were to put another command block on the front of it, and another command block behind it, and we were also to set these command blocks to chain as well, then what happens, what happens is when this gets activated, or any command block, even an impulse block before it gets activated, you end up receiving this automatically starting up. Alright? And then, from there, it automatically senses the one before it, and so it starts down the chain until we get here. Now, the other option that we have here is a repeat, which, once it detects that there's been a difference or an update to the redstone, then it will actually go ahead and continuously go over every game tick, every single game tick, that option. So if you wanted to do something in here, for instance, kill at E, and then we go ahead and set this to always active, then boom, it actually is going to kill all entities every second for the rest of time. Okay? So, and of course, that was probably not the best one, but it actually did give you, you saw there, a pretty good idea of how that happens. Every single game tick, it will actually fire that away. So that can be a very effective tool if you have, like, for instance, an auto smelting or thing like that you're trying to accomplish. These command blocks do allow us a significant amount of flexibility. Now, how do you know what to put in your command block, one might ask? Well, If you were to go into your regular menu here and start within your command, now you can do something such as slash and then start typing it in. Now we'll see here that they've added a few different options that they didn't have before, such as stop sound, which actually comes off of a different option, or spread players. So right now we have the spread players. Let's go ahead and start typing this in. Spread and then players. Now it asks us for an X value. You do have a couple of options here. You can enter in a specific X value that you know you might want, which is nice, and then we'll go ahead and instead set this one to allow us this value right here. And that means from where the block is, or the player is, that's setting this now. We'll then go ahead and set another one to indicate the same feature. The next thing it's going to ask us for is the spread distance. Alright, how far out do you want to go? So we're going to go ahead and set this out for about 20 blocks. We don't want to go terribly far. But the second option it's going to ask us for is the max range. So we'll set this again for 22. It does need to be a higher number. The next thing it's going to ask for is the victim or the target. And we're going to then go at A to consider all players. Alright? And then that's going to be the end of this particular command setup. We can then go ahead and execute this command, and it will have successfully spread me, as you see, 20 blocks away from this command source. Now let's go ahead and type that command in here. Alright, and let's see if I step on this. Boom. I successfully get spread away from this block. And now we don't receive our syntax error. So, and this will work over and over again, and as you see here, the distance and direction each time is completely random. Boom. But it will always be 20 to 25 blocks away. Okay. So, now we want to use this in order to be able to set more blocks going off than just, the spreading of us. So, if we go ahead and place the command block where the arrow is, and go ahead and place inside that it is an always active and chain, and then inside our command here, we'll go ahead and put in title, all players, and then you have a few options after this. There we go. You can add in some additional options, such as the time it's on screen, how much it fades in, how much it fades out. You can use this symbol here in order to change the color of the wording. Sorry. There are many options that you have for your title. However, you can basically set what you'd like. So the big important things this is a chain that is always active based off of the arrow directionality you see here. And then we'll go ahead and place down our redstone input, and as we get teleported, we get a hello. So that will occur every time this command block gets activated. Boom, hello. So we can go ahead and set ourselves up a couple of additional command blocks here. That's it. There. So I did that for a little bit of a reason here, because we're going to go ahead and switch this on to a couple other things. So a little bit more that you do have for options here. Let's go ahead and set us down another chain that is always active, and we'll go ahead and set a game rule for net 0 generation to false. Oh, sorry. Yeah, we want that to be false. Alright. And then, now that what's going to happen after this is that we will go ahead and place another one down that will also be a chain that is always active, that sets our game mode as S for all players. For all players. So then, when we go ahead and step on this initial block down here, not only do we get spread, we get a hello. Our game mode has been updated, and now we have a better chance of dying because we do have that natural regeneration, which is turned off. But we have quite a few different other options that we can place off of these beautiful blocks, and there are a lot more commands that are available to us in order to be able to set up a fun experience. We can end up doing a slash give command. All players, diamond underscore door. I do believe that should go through. Let's see. If we go like this, boom. Diamond sword. So you can kind of set it up to allow you to kind of start a PvP arena and things of that nature with a simple little boom, 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 boom. That overall, guys, is how you can kind of get a little bit more out of your command blocks. And if ever you're kind of wondering what can I put in here, well, if you go ahead and start in on the slash right here, then that allows you to see quite a few things that you can do. And you can always do a slash help in order to get an additional number of ideas going on here. So guys, if you enjoyed this tutorial from me, go ahead and smash that like button. Subscribe if this is the first one you've seen from me. I apologize about the audio. You only find out about that stuff after the recording is done. But if you guys want to see more, if you want to see some additional command block things that you can set up, then let me know, and I will go ahead and set up a couple of interesting little things, and we'll be taking a look at this block here potentially in a little while. So if you enjoyed the video, again, slam the like, subscribe, and I hope you come back soon.